I see one big mistakes with course creators specifically when they're delegating, and that is they're missing usually one of these three things. And it'll be interesting to hear what you think about this, and if this is true to you as well. And I would love to hear your comment or send me a message, because chances are you're doing the same, because it's kind of like baking a cake. If you miss just one ingredient, or it's the wrong order, it's the wrong volume, then it's just going to fall flat. It's like when I bake a cake. I put all these things in the pan, and it should be good, right? And then you realize you poured too hot water on the yeast, so the yeast dies, and it's like, it's all is wrecked. Everything else was perfect, but the hot water was too hot, and now it's wrecked. So we're going to try to avoid that today. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you miss just one of these critical components of communication. So we aim to get all three of them. But if you manage to get just purpose and the end state, you will have people who care about the task. They will maybe do a little bit of extra, and they will do the right things because they have an understanding of what it is that you want them to deliver. But results are usually useless because they broke a rule, or they broke something that they couldn't do, or they missed something that they had to do. An example could be like they're creating a carousel for you, and they were supposed to use the brand colors, but they didn't. So now the outcome, however beautiful and innovative it is, it's basically worthless. They delivered a carousel, but it didn't use the brand outline or the brand colors. Another way of seeing it is that they have created this beautiful ad. It is a carousel, which is the end state that you wanted, but it has too much naked skin on the photo. Like maybe this on the beach and there's an uncovered upper body. And Facebook policy says you can't do that. Too much skin. The AI is going to block you. And then you're like, okay, it's the results are there, but it's useless because you broke the rules. These are usually the people who are like, shoot, I didn't miss that. And who the ones you got to get back to and trying to figure out. You always have to make these little adjustments, and which is super frustrating because whatever they deliver to you, you can't use it. The next category of teammates or VAs that we have are the ones who follow the rules and do the right things. So they follow rules and they're doing the right things, aka they're delivering what you want them to deliver, but they do the absolute minimum. So these are the people who will make that carousel, they will make it into your brand colors, and they will follow the Facebook ad policy, but it would never be innovative. It would never be something exciting. It's just like exactly what you asked them to do, which is fine. We can have these people, and they're actually really good to work with, but these are not the one who's going to help you pull the company forward. But they will, do whatever you tell them to do. So if you're really good at telling people what to do, then they will deliver that. But if you're not as good at telling people what to do exactly, specifically with all the instructions, then chances are they're going to do the absolute minimum and not really understand what it is that you want, and you're going to have to redo it. These are kind of the people who are like, whatever, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, and now I got to move myself out of the picture. I'm going to put myself over here. Then the second part, when you have the purpose and you have the rules figured out, then you will have people who care, people who follow the rules, but they're doing the wrong things. So in our carousel example, that would mean they are creating something like really innovative, really something exciting, because they understand what it is that you want. And when you look at it, it's like, oh man, this is great. This is so cool. And they follow all the rules. Like there's not too many, there's not any nudity on your photos, and it is the brand colors. But they created a reel instead of a carousel. So it's like, it's a good thing. You really made something beautiful here, but it's not what I asked for. So then that's the frustration instead. These are people who are kind of lost. There's like, dang it. I created this thing, but it was super innovative. I did all the thing, but I just did the wrong thing. I delivered on the wrong thing. And you might think that this is a ridiculous example, but it isn't. It happens all the time. And chances are that you have been through something similar like this, where you asked for a specific outcome, but you actually got something else. And there's multiple reasons why this might be the case, because it's all about how they see the task. Maybe you have said these things, but if they haven't understood it and they can't really see it, they can't visualize it, then it doesn't matter. So if you have a team or you have VAs, you have a situation which resembles this, then chances are that you're missing out at least one of these components. But instead, we want to be in the middle. That's where the magic happens. And when I googled GIF and magic, this is what came up. So I'm just got cool. I just stick the exploding cat in there because I just think it's funny. But we want to have all of these 3 things so we can have that little magic that is called teamwork, even though you only have one VA. What you see on the screen is literally everything you need to communicate more simple, low creativity tasks. If you want to go for something more expansive, something that requires way more understanding, then you need to add a little bit more so that they can make good decisions and really understand what it is that you want. You're going to have to add a situation so they understand the big picture. And you're going to have to add resources and other stuff like that. This is not something that we're going to focus on this course, but if you choose to join me in the Delegation Mastery course, as other students have, then you'll be able to learn how to delegate way more complex tasks or even projects. Maybe you want to have an operations manager or an integrator or something like that, then that would be the things that you would have to learn how to communicate. But for now, doing the things that we're going to do in this course, it will be completely sufficient for the purpose, rules, and end state. And so if we zoom in to the middle, this is what will happen. You will have a VA, or you will have a team who can work autonomously. They innovate, that you can trust them, and they will take ownership of their tasks. And this comes down to what we call people who care about the task, who are capable of solving the task, and who are willing to cooperate on how to solve the task. It's not just my way or the highway type of thing. Okay, so how the heck do we do this? Well, just like we did the last exercise, I'm going to share with you the theory behind how the tool works, because I believe if I could get you to understand how this works, then even if you forget all the tools, if you remove everything, you will walk away from this course with a deeper understanding, and you'll be able to implement and use that in your team or with your VA for the rest of your life. It's worked for me the last 12 years in everything from international deployment with the Army to building my website with a remote team to creating these online courses with you guys. So we're now going to take all that information, and I'm going to show you how to do this with your task that you have chosen. So I'm going to show you how to take all these components and present them to your team so that they can understand what it is that you want from them. In the next video, you're going to learn, or you're actually going to do it with me, how to implement these thoughts and ideas and the task that you have into this delegation tool so you can send it off to your team. So by the end of it, you'll have a task that you are able to delegate to your team. So see you in the next video.